here! World Card Making Day! Yay, yay, yay. Thank you guys so much for being here. There was quite a few of you here very early, ready to celebrate. And thank you guys so much for all of the congratulations. For those of you that don't know, I am celebrating 20 years of blogging. Even though I'm only in my early 30s. Yeah, it did go by fast. And I started in March of 2005. So I've had it on my radar to want to celebrate this year. But finding a place where it will fit into things is tough. And I thought, why not leading up to World Card Making Day so we can make it a whole celebration about how amazing this community is, because really it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't so amazing. Thank you, Miss Brianne. I see she's in the chat, and I see everybody saying hi to Josie. I haven't quite seen her in the chat yet, but I'm sure I missed it. So I hope that you guys will give me a couple minutes to share some fun things. So yeah, I started blogging in 2005. I started teaching card making in 2001. I had just graduated from college, and I worked at a small gift shop in New Hampshire. Shout out to Adele at Cardvark. And she had a small stamping section, a good old Hero Arts spinner, and some PSX wooden bookcase with wood-mounted stamps. And I had been to a few stamping parties when I was in college and had loved it and started card making. And she suggested to me, why don't you start teaching a beginner stamping class here at the store? And it was a gift shop again, but it had this small stamping section, and I was like, okay. And so I just started teaching classes there. And then I moved to Cape Cod, and there happened to be a store dedicated to scrapbooking and stamping, which was just amazing to me because even living in New Hampshire, we had a small section at Cardvark, but I still had to drive pretty far to get to the local big box store. And so to then go into a store dedicated to scrapbooking and stamping, and it was all these different companies that you didn't see at the big box stores. I was like, so I had a job on the Cape, but I quickly asked if I could work at this store, Colorful Creations, part-time. And I think that lasted like a month, and then they hired me full-time. So I worked there for 8 years before they closed. And while I was working there, I was traveling all around New England and New York, and even down to Maryland. I taught at the Queen's Ink in Maryland, teaching card making. I would get in my Jetta and drive all over. And I worked it out so it would work into my schedule of working at the store. I was lucky enough to have a very, very supportive boss, Jane. And so, yeah, so that happened, and then the store closed. And I say that was my era of getting a big girl job because I wasn't playing for a living. I felt like working at the paper craft store was literally playing every day. So I worked at Providence College for 5 years. And half of that time I lived on the Cape and I commuted to Providence, Rhode Island. Half of that time I moved to Rhode Island, but I missed the Cape so much. And I got an opportunity to work back on Cape Cod. So I took that opportunity, but my work week was technically a Monday through Thursday work week. So I started driving up to Logan Airport almost every Thursday, except for the summer and holidays, and traveling out to stores all over North America, teaching, every weekend. and having so much fun. I was teaching around 25 weekends a year. I had to stay home during the summer months for my mermaid season, but it was a blast. But it just got to be too much. I was working, Monday through Thursday, like a 9 to 5 job, and then teaching, traveling and teaching Thursday, Friday, Saturday, coming home very late, typically on Sundays. And so I looked to Chris, my boyfriend, and I was like, I cannot do both anymore. And he's like, well, what do you love the most? And I'm like, I love teaching, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it full time. And he was like, just do it. We'll figure it out. Just do it. So I quit my big girl job and went back to playing. And that's when I became a creative chick full time. I think that it's going to be 8 years this November. And yeah, a year later, Chris actually lost his job unexpectedly. So I kind of had to carry us a little bit, but I did it. And then this just blossomed into a really, really fun job and business. So yeah, so I'm pretty much a party of one. Josie is like my first official part-time employee. She helps me so much for my in-person events, and then she helps me behind the scenes with some of my handouts and emails and such. And Brienne has been helping. Brienne kits for me. I say kits. I say it in the present tense, Brienne, even though you had to take a little break. So whenever I offer kits for when I'm teaching, she helps with that, as well as some other friends I'll mention in a minute. And then this summer, Brienne has helped me catch up on blogging. Speaking of 20 years of blogging, I've gotten a little behind. I kind of sent her this picture of mesh zipper tote zipper pouches. Like I think I don't know, Brienne can tell me, but I think I had 4 of them like exploding with cards that I have made, but I hadn't blogged yet. So Brienne's been helping me with that. And then I have Brienne helps me kit, my friend Lisa in Connecticut, my friend Dawn in Wisconsin, and my friend Heidi here on the Cape. So when I do my in-person classes and events and my virtual creative journey art retreat, they all work really, really hard to help me kit. So I'm so thankful for that. So yeah, I want to give like a quick little rundown since since I am celebrating 20 years. And it is World Cardmaking Day. I am so excited that you guys are all joining me, whether it's live or on replay. I know there's a lot of fun things going on today. So I'm okay if you couldn't be here live. I love it. Josie just says, I'm still waiting for all my Employee of the Month plaques. You got to talk to HR about that, Josie. And we all know there's no HR department right now. I love it. I love it. And Brienne says all the projects she's been doing, helping me with my blog, is they're really great projects. I have to take inspiration breaks. Aw, thank you. Thank you so much. So if you're just stumbling upon this, I am celebrating 20 years in blogging. And I did a big inspiration celebration on Wednesday, but it's still going on. You can head on over to my website, and so many of my crafty friends posted in honor of my celebration. So all I asked them to do was poke around on my website, find something that inspires them to create a project. And I had so much fun looking at all that they created. They're all linked on the post that I have here on the screen. And I know Brienne and Josie are linking in the chat. And I also have it linked in the caption of the video. But I would really encourage you guys, if you're looking for some inspiration, definitely go hop along there. And then also on that post, I have a giveaways. I have a lot of giveaways, over $800. Almost all of them are gift cards. Vicki Booten is donating a set of her stencils, which is so amazing. And not pictured here, but Olo Marker, Lori Craig said that she would donate some markers as well. So well over $800 in giveaways. You have until October 6th. 2025 at, I think I said 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you go over to my post. Make sure you read about the giveaway and how to enter. It's very, very easy. You don't need to purchase anything. And yeah, we'll get some people with some prizes real soon. Also, I'd like to just give you guys a heads up. Fall is my busiest time of year for teaching. And I'm not traveling and teaching this fall. It is the first time, minus pandemic years, that I'm not traveling to teach anywhere. And so what that means is I have a lot of online classes. And what's great about the online classes is they're open worldwide. Again, when I was traveling and teaching, I was always hearing from people how I wasn't coming to where they live. Or the other thing that's great about online classes is they're available whenever they work into your schedule. So that was the other thing. I would travel and teach at somebody's local store, but they already had plans that weekend. So there's really no excuses to be able to join my online classes. And I list out products that I will be using, but I always encourage you guys to substitute whatever you have, whatever will work, from your stash. So I have just released this week is my self-paced Witchy Wishes class. So if you need a little Halloween card making inspiration, definitely check this out. The color palette that we're using alone is just so fun and unique. It's a really, really fun class. Plus, we're going to be playing with some fun tricks to get your alcohol-based marker coloring to look a little bit more spooky. And then tomorrow I am teaching live. I'm teaching my Hello Beauty Fall class. So you can sign up now and join me tomorrow, or sign up now and join me later. And we're going to be creating some really fun fall cards. But if you guys know me, I am a mermaid in the summer. I live on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and I love the summer so much. And living in New England, our summer is very short. Our fall is beautiful. It is literally summer weather out there right now. But I don't love fall because it means winter's coming. So I have a really hard time with fall. It's like a love, not like relationship. I don't want to say hate because hate's a strong word. But when I'm making my fall cards, it is very much still summer. So I love the color palette I'm using in this class because it is still really bright and cheery and maybe only a little bit fallish. But it is a ton of fun. So definitely check out that class. Then upcoming, I have my East Coast Fawny bestie, Shari Moss, is joining me in another online class. When you take an online class with her and I, we actually make an extra card. So in my typical card classes, we make 3, and in a East Coast Fawny class, we make 4. We actually asked all of you guys what stamp set you wanted us to create with in our next class, and you guys all chose S'more the Merrier from Lawn Fawn. So that is what we're going to be featuring, and it's going to be so much fun. So that is coming up at the end of October. And then I have coming up, for the first time ever, I am teaching an online mixed media card class. So I've done several online distress technique classes where we learn all about either distress inks, or we've done the sprays and the mediums. And then of course we have distress watercolor pencils. But in mixed media in season, we are going to actually be making cards. I'm going to take the fear out of mixed media. And if you already love mixed media, I bet you're going to learn some fun tricks. I taught this in person at Papercraft Clubhouse in Connecticut just a couple weeks ago. And I had some very beginners to mixed media in the class. And then I had some very well-known, they play with mixed media all the time, people in class. And all of them had come up to me after class and just were so excited at all that they learned. Now, the mixed media in season class has the option of getting an exclusive Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous set. When I teach my creative journey art retreats in person and online, I am so lucky and so thankful to be able to offer an exclusive stamp set. I go through all of Tim Holtz's image catalog, all of his sets, and I pick and choose all different images and I resize them to how I want them to be. And I mix and mingle a bunch of different images from a bunch of different sets down to one. So that is what we're going to be using in mixed media in season. And if you come back at 4 p.m. when I'm live again, you also might see that we're playing with that set as well. So that is going to be a ton of fun. That class, you can choose to have the stamp set sent to you, or you can choose to shop your stash and just take the class. So I wanted to make it available for everybody because I know some people might not want to pay for the shipping. But I got to tell you, I love the stamp set so much. And then last but not least, I promise we'll get to crafting. I just want to mention, I also host free online classes with Lawn Fawn. Kelly Marie and I get together on Lawn Fawn's YouTube channel. They are completely free. You don't need to sign up. We call them Create With Us, and we feature 1 or 2 products from Lawn Fawn during these Create With Us mini classes. Even though it's a mini class, we'll be making 2 cards. This coming one will be with Cozy Cats. But even though it's a mini class, there's still a free downloadable handout. I still have coloring guides for you using alcohol-based markers. I typically use Copic markers, but starting this fall, I have been doing Olo comparison charts for all the markers that I'm using in classes going forward. And so you can choose to join us and craft along, or you can choose to join us and just get chatty with us. And we love both options. So that'll be coming up on October 9th. I actually might have a guest appearance in my studio here with me on October 9th. But it's a lot of fun, and those are available live or on replay. Again, there's no need to sign up. And this will be our 31st free class. I meant to count how many online classes from my website I've done. I'll do that before the 4 p.m. live. But yeah, 31 free classes. If you're a Lawn Fawn fan, then you definitely got to check that out. All right. I love all of the comments here. So I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to get crafty. But guess what? I did not make a project ahead of time. I wanted to create with you guys on the fly because one of the questions I get a lot is, hey, how do you get started? How do you come up with an idea? How, did you decide to do that? So I figure if I don't have a plan, you can kind of see how my brain works. Now I will preface it. My brain is a little different. All morning, we went to go get pumpkins and, I got ready. My mind was brewing ideas. And yesterday I pulled a few supplies that I knew I wanted to feature, but I really don't have like a set plan. Okay. So hopefully this will be fun. And if you've been around for a while, you won't be surprised at one of the sets that I pulled to play with because it's fall and 'tis the season. We got to play with my best friend, and my best friend here, Mr. Harvest. So I am playing with Happy Harvest. Shari actually sent me some pictures yesterday of some cards that she created with Mr. Harvest. And we were both realizing we need a little love for him. He's not in S'more the Merrier. I didn't use him in Beauty Fall. And so, yeah, we love our Happy Harvest. So I pulled that stamp set. And then, of course, I pulled You Crow Girl, and we're just going to get started. All right. So this is how it's going to go. But yeah, I love it. Yay. Thank you, Jennifer. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Nora just printed a bunch of handouts. I love that. I love that. Awesome. So I did put together the items that I pulled ahead of time into a supply list. I saw Brienne just linked that for me. And so if you are enabled to need anything, you know, need in quotes, we do have that visual supply list. And then I did ask Josie and Brienne, as I pull out random things, to maybe add them to that visual supply list. But the first thing I'm going to do is just stamp good old Mr. Harvest, and you can see how loved this stamp set is. I forget what year he's from, and I always got to put the crow on his shoulder. It's like kind of a given in Gen land. I know I'm live at the same time as Tim. The pressure is there, but I kind of didn't know he was going live when I scheduled mine. It's all good. There's replays. There are replays for both of us. So be wherever you would like to be, right? All right, so we're going to stamp a little Mr. Harvest, and he finally has a friend. We are so, so happy that he has a friend. I don't think I'm going to do a mouse today, but let's see. We'll put the flower on her hat, and we're definitely going to add some patches. Yay! So Jamie, are you finishing up making your Witchy Wishes cards, or are you just kidding your Witchy Wishes cards? Woo! That's a tricky one. That is a tricky one. All right, let me grab. I just want to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. All right, so I am going to be using Lawn Fawn Jet Black. This black ink pad is literally the black ink pad I use all day, every day. It'll work with alcohol-based markers, but it also works with watercoloring. So anytime you see me using distress watercolor pencils and I have a black outline, this is what I'm using. Once in a while, I'll be using an archival, Ranger archival black, but almost always it's the Lawn Fawn Jet Black. Aw, thank you, Danielle. She says she's not going anywhere. Tim can go on replay. Thank you. I love it. So Josie says that Brienne's going to be the linking ninja here in the chat, and Josie's going to make sure that the visual supply list is updated with additional items. Look at this tag team. Oh, it's so nice to have help sometimes. I will tell you that. It's been a busy couple weeks with Stamptember and getting all the classes ready. Now I'm stamping these twice because I am going to be coloring with my Copics today, but I wanted to just kind of quickly show you guys the coloring stencils from Lawn Fawn because they are so awesome. So awesome. So Jennifer Ingalls in the chat, and Jennifer's a local. She lives up near Boston, so she's a Massachusetts local, and her son Sterling loves to craft with her, which I think is so awesome. And he just got upset with her for not buying the stamps so he could craft with me. Well, let Sterling know, or Sterling, if you're listening, nobody knew what I was going to be playing with today. So Mom did not fail, but maybe Mom will be enabled to need a little happy harvest in her life. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So let me get these guys. Oh, and I said I wanted to put some patches on. So what I love about this You Crow Girl stamp set is that there's a cute little pocket and there's a cute little patch. So you can kind of do some different things on her dress. And I sometimes will put a patch on Mr. Harvest too. So I'm going to grab some Post-it tape. This is just Post-it masking tape. And I'm just going to kind of put it on the edge of her dress here. We don't need to make a real mask. We're just going to do it on the fly. And we'll go ahead and do, the patch will kind of be half on, half off, okay? So if you guys have questions for me that you don't want me to miss, putting questions in, or question in all caps before you type it will be super helpful for me to glance up and see. I also forgot to give a shout out when I was talking. I'm pretty sure my dad's watching. So everybody say hello to Jimbo. I called him like 10 minutes before I went live and asked him what he was up to, and he was home. And I was like, well, if you want to watch me make a card, I'll be live. So I sent him the link. So he is watching. Okay. So you can see now if I peel this away, I cut all my nails yesterday. If I peel this away, we've got the patch half on and half off. So we're going to do that again. We'll give her another patch. Actually, I'll do a full patch on her, but up here on her shirt, we'll do a half patch. I think this patch is so cute with the little faux stitching, because we all know I'm not going to stitch. And I need to clean my grip mat. If you guys join me for my lives, for my classes, and my Get Cracking on Christmases, how long have I been saying I need to clean my grip mat? Because it's not gripping, you guys. It's not gripping. Thank you guys saying hi to my dad. A lot of you guys sent my dad birthday cards because he had a big birthday in January. And I'm going to forget how many cards he got. I think it was like, I wish my dad could type. I don't know if he knows how to add comments in the chat. I want to say it was like 130, 140. I don't know. Maybe Josie remembers. It was a lot of birthday cards from all over the world. It was so amazing. Yeah, Brian says I am not stitching. Nope, but I will faux stitch like this. This is cute. All right, and then we're going to do one more patch. I'm only going to do one on Mr. Harvest, but she's getting all the patches, and we'll just do one full patch here. Okay, oops. Thanks, guys. I'm so excited you're here. I was like thinking, I'm like, oh, what should I do for World Cardmaking Day? And I've done lots of different things over the years. And I really do love going live with you guys because I love teaching. I really, really do love it. And so I was like, I was talking to Josie about it this summer. I'm like, I think I'm going to go live on World Cardmaking Day. If you could plan to be around. She's so busy. Teacher life, guys. The struggle is real. And then I was like, well, I can't just go live once. I got to make it like a big to-do because it's World Cardmaking Day. So I'm going to go live twice. And then so I asked you guys, I set up a couple polls on my social media, and you guys chose 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. 4 p.m. was the more popular of the two. And 12 p.m. right now was the second most popular. All right. Thanks, Nikki. He is a pretty good guy, that Jimbo. The first time I sent him a link to my live, this was quite a while ago. I was like, oh, he's going to watch it for 10 minutes or so. Nope, he watched the whole thing, and it was a pretty long one. I don't remember exactly, how long it was, but it was a long one. And after I was like, you watched the whole thing? He's like, yeah. All right. So I'm taking out the coloring stencils for Happy Harvest, okay? And if you're new to Lawn Fawn's coloring stencils, they came out last summer. So summer of 2024 is when they started coming out with coloring stencils. And they will, anytime a brand new Lawn Fawn set comes out, the coloring stencils come out. So brand new sets, always coloring stencils. And then what they're doing is they're going back and releasing coloring stencils for their most popular stamp sets. So if you have a Lawn Fawn stamp set that you're just dying for a coloring stencil, make sure you email Lawn Fawn. You can email them info@lawnfawn.com and let them know your favorites, and that will help them decide which ones to release. So even though Happy Harvest came out a million years ago, they came out with a coloring stencil for him. All right. So I'm going to set aside my scarecrows with patches, and I just want to quickly demo the coloring stencils for you guys. When I'm working with coloring stencils, I do like to use my mini ink pads. Now, I know that, not everybody has the minis and the full-size ink pads. I fully get that. But I do find it much easier just to kind of work with your mini ink pads when you're using your coloring stencils. So I'm going to grab, let's see, we're going to do the scarecrow. So let's do maybe a little butter. Let me look at them. We're going to do a little butter. We'll do maybe a little dough. Let's just do real traditional, and then maybe I'll switch it up for my coloring. And then we got to get some orange in there. So let's do a little carrot. And then I'm going to do a little number 2 pencil. I think that's good. So, Miss Brianne, maybe you could go to my Lawn Fawn blog post announcing the new winter release. Because another thing, if you are a Lawn Fawn fan, Lawn Fawn's been around. They're celebrating their 15th year this year, which is so exciting. But if you've been around, Lawn Fawn does not retire things very frequently. They hold on to stuff because one of the beautiful things about Lawn Fawn is that everything coordinates together really, really well. So things typically keep selling because they keep coordinating. However, Lawn Fawn is located in Southern California, and it is not the most affordable place to be having a warehouse. So they are running out of room. So they are retiring a bunch of things, you guys. There's a couple I'm really sad about, but I know it's going to happen. So they have a retiring soon section on their website. And hopefully Brianne can link. I have the link on the blog post for my fall classes, or my winter classes, sorry. But retiring soon means they're going to sell the items until they sell out, and then that's it. They're gone. So again, there's a couple sets I'm really sad about, but I'm going to try to pull it together. I love it. Lauren, I wonder how much watching this is going to cost me. Hopefully not a lot, Lauren, because you already follow me and you've already been enabled for all of the things. So when I am using the coloring stencils, there's so many mini brushes out there, and I've tried quite a few of them. But these I've been using the longest and the most. So these are the Altenew blending brushes. These are the ones that I have found to be my favorite for when I'm using coloring stencils. When Lawn Fawn designs the coloring stencils for a stamp set, they create them to be the same size as the stamp set so that they will store however you store that stamp set, these will fit with them, okay? Whether you use pockets or whatever it is you use, all right? The other thing that's really cool about the coloring stencils is they have the etching on the stencils, which you guys can see. So it makes it really, really easy to line up the stamped image with the stencil, all right? And then the other thing that I really love, and again, I just think Lawn Fawn does a really good job at kind of thinking it all through for us. Basically, they separated the images far enough apart so that if you're doing stenciling for multiple images, you don't need to clean in between moving your stencil around. And I love that because if I don't need to clean and I can keep creating, then we're good to go, right? And then the other thing I was going to mention, so some of you guys might think, well, Jen, I doubt that you're ever going to use coloring stencils because you love to color so much. That's actually not true. I think the coloring stencils are great that if I wanted to mass produce a project, right? I think they're great for that. And there's just some days I don't want to color, right? And they kind of take that step away, and these are just so fun and easy to work with. If you have kids in your life, they're great to have kids be able to easily color. I know Kelly Marie shares how Miles uses these all of the time. So what did Brienne say? Oh, so Brienne just linked the retirement sale. Monique says, which sets are you sorry to see retiring? Let me see. I feel like there were two sets that made me really, really sad. Let me see if I can see very quickly. There was one ocean set. I think it's the octopi one. That one made me a little sad. And then the other one was Holiday Party Animal. That's the one with the raccoon and all the little holiday elements. I use those little elements so many times. And then the other one was Here for You Bear, which is the cutest little bear in his rain jacket. And I love to use him with the other rainy bears. I'm sure there's more, but those were the two that stuck out at me. Let's see. So I'm going to start with Forget Me Not, and I'm just dabbing into my ink pad. And of course I'm using my ink stand. If you guys are, use your mini inks a lot, you have to have an ink stand. Like, I don't know how people function with mini ink cubes without an ink stand. So anytime you guys see me design with Pink Fresh, I only own their mini inks, which is great. And I have to use the ink stand because I'm ink blending so much. And it's like, I don't have to hold on to the little ink pad. Yes, Frosties was sad, Beth, the snowflakes. You're right. You know me so well. Yeah, it's really sad, you guys. I know. I don't know which is better. The companies that discontinue stuff frequently or Lawn Fawn that just does it once in a while. I feel like it hurts more. All right, so I'm taking Forget Me Not, and I'm going to start on my stencil and just gently blend. And I promise we're going to get to actually making a card, but I just wanted to show this real quick. So I'm gently blending, okay? And we have just a nice even color. If you want to step it up and add some shadow, you most certainly can. And what you're going to do is grab some more ink and concentrate your ink on one side or where you want that shadow. Now remember, when your ink dries, it is going to lighten up. So I go pretty dark when I do this from the get-go because I know that it is going to lighten up. But look at how amazing that looks, right? I mean, it just looks so awesome. Now we'll go ahead and do his little hat. Let's see, for that one, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do number 2 pencil. I was gonna do brown, but I'm switching it up. And even in this section, if I wanted to do, I gotta find my brown brush. Here it is. Nope, that's purple. Where is my brown brush? I'll just use this one. But what I was going to say is within one section of the stencil, even if you want to do different colors, they're separated enough, the cutouts, that you can definitely do different colors, right? So here I did a little number 2 pencil, a little doe, and now for his buttons, I did a little carrot. I do want to add, oh, this is my brown brush that I'm using yellow ink on, you guys. You're probably all yelling at your screen saying, Jen, you are using the brown brush. But see, and look how awesome that looks. I just love it so, so much. All right. I love it. I love it. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions about the coloring stencils. Again, I'm going to color with Copics because that's what I really want to do. And it's World Cardmaking Day, and all of us card makers should be able to do whatever it is we want to do, right? But I do love the option of those coloring stencils. And they're really, really affordable. They're not that expensive. They're just awesome. So I'm going to use just a mini mister of isopropyl alcohol to clean up that ink. And I always, always, always have my glitter all of the things flour sackcloth here ready to wipe it all away, which those might look out of stock on my website. I don't know, maybe Josie, you can go put them back in stock. You know how many you shipped to me. I have not put them in stock yet, but Josie makes those custom flour sackcloths for me, and I love them so much. I actually might treat myself to a new one since I've been using that one for however many years we've been doing them. Okay, so let's get to town here. Let's start coloring our scarecrows, and I will zoom a little bit back in. Now, everything I'm going to share today as I'm coloring my scarecrows with Copic markers, that will work the same with any alcohol-based markers. So whatever brand of alcohol-based markers are your favorite, you will be able to color the same, right? The same tips and tricks I'm going to share with you guys, all right? So I typically do 2 color blending for the most part. Every once in a while, I'll squeak in a third marker here and there. But I'm going to be using E37 and E33, and we're going to go ahead and I start with the darkest color first. That's almost always. Sometimes I'll start with the lighter for certain reasons, but typically. And we're going to kind of just try to keep coloring a little quick because I will want to do something fun for my background with you guys as well. And actually, since the hat is curved, we're going to put a little shadow on both sides to help it appear to be curved. I agree. Heather says, I always feel like the coloring stencils give a little storybook quality to the colors. I agree. So then I take the lighter of the 2 colors and I swipe and blend. So I'm covering over that dark color a little bit repetitively until we don't see a line from that previous color. All right. And this is from teaching coloring with Copics so many years, especially in person. this is the part that I would see people kind of lose track. They wouldn't saturate that cardstock enough and keep blending. And so they would just kind of quickly go like this, and they thought they were done. But no, you've got to keep doing it. And that way, you're going to lose the line from the previous color. It'll soften the two, and it'll kind of give this in between color and start to meld and mesh things together. All right. So Brienne just linked, I do host an online class. It's called Copic 101, but I really truly feel it's great for any alcohol-based markers. I do go over refilling Copics and changing the tips on Copics, but everything else is great for any alcohol-based markers. And you get a workbook shipped to you. It is filled with artwork that I commissioned Angie Blom to do for me specifically for the class. So you don't need to have specific stamps and dies to be able to take the class, because I wanted anybody, any style, whatever your favorite style was, you could still take the class and learn a lot. All right. So then I just filled in what was left white with one layer of color. So we've got that really nice highlight. All right. Okay, so now let's see. We are going to, I'm going to color the straw in his hat so that I can figure out my color scheme in my head, because I really don't know what I'm doing, you guys. So for the straw, I'm going to just dab at the tops of each little straw piece with my dark color, which is YR14. Just a quick little dab. And we'll do the same thing on Crow Girl. Right? And it doesn't have to, be perfect when you're first laying down the color. Thank you so much, Josie. She just put those flower sackcloths back in stock. She just shipped me. She's working hard at doing another big batch, but she shipped me a in-between batch this week, so that I could get some back in stock for you guys. And I forgot to put them in stock. I was so excited they arrived. I texted her and then I forgot to put them in stock. All right, so I'm just dabbing right where I put the dark. It still leaves a little bit of white space. And now I'm just going to finish filling in with one layer. Real simple. Okay. But it's just enough. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes when I'm teaching, I feel a little silly when I've broken out two colors for a really small area. But it's not really overcomplicating it, but it is really adding a lot of dimension. And that's just what I love to do when I get carried away with coloring and I'm kind of in la la land. I just love the dimension that you can get to appear just by simply using two markers, even in the smallest of areas. Awesome. Yeah, Tracy says it always amazes me. Your flower sackcloth started out white. You make so many cards. I know. Oh yay, Michelle. The more I see Lawn Fawn products, the more I just love them. They're so cute. And yes, Lawn Fawn is addictive. It sure is. Welcome, Cardi. No worries. And Kelsey said, as far as the Copic 101 class, so many amazing tips and tricks. She did the class with her tri-blends and she learned so much. So thank you so much, Kelsey, for sharing that. So Jody, maybe Brienne can link just my Copic 101 blog post. This is 80-pound Nina Solar White Smooth cardstock. It's also what Lawn Fawn packages up for their 80-pound cardstock, and that's all I color on. I really like the 80-pound. Sometimes you'll see that I color on Distress White Heavy Stock if I'm doing some sort of masking technique, but it's usually just the 80-pound. And when Brienne links my Copic 101 blog post, that's a free blog post, it shows you all my most favorite supplies to use when I'm using Copic markers. All right. Let me know, you guys, what color should the overall in the dress be? While I'm coloring all the other things that I know what they're going to be, maybe you guys can give me, maybe you'll spur off some ideas. All right, we're going to do the little crow. I love this little guy. I feel like I've probably colored him 100 times. But I like to use the toner grays when I want a bit of a cooler gray. I actually don't really ever use the cool grays from Copic. I personally find them very, very hard to blend. So I've always stayed away from them. And during the pandemic, I discovered the toner grays. I have been coloring with Copic markers for over 20 years now. So I will also just say everything takes practice, and it goes for really anything in life. The more you practice, the better you will get at it. All right, so we're giving this crow some deep shadow on the left side. And I've lost his eyeballs a little bit, but I will show you guys a little fun thing I'll do so that we get his eyeball back. And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to keep his beak simple today. I know sometimes I do keep things simple, but we're just going to go with a little bit of orange there. I love it. Robin says, do we get extra credit if we say teal? I mean, awesome. Beth says, Jen, if you were getting started with card making and sharing on social media, would you create a blog today? That's a really, really good question, Beth. And I will say that my short answer is yes. And my reason why, we've gone through a couple trends in the past 20 years that I've been blogging where you kind of have heard blogging is dead. And I actually disagree with that statement. And the reason why is I find my blog is a really good home base. It is where I can direct anybody to find all of this information that I've been working on sharing over the years, right? And it's a way for me to give more information. Now, I know, when I started blogging 20 years ago, not many, I don't even remember when YouTube started, but it wasn't a big thing back then, right? And nowadays with YouTube, of course, I can share so much information with you guys today, right? Even in this live, I'm able to share a lot of information. And I much rather listen to somebody than read, for sure. But what I'll tell you is all of those social media services can go away tomorrow. However, my blog, I own that. So even if I want to change hosting companies or change the look and feel to my website, I can still export all 20 years of those posts and put them wherever I want to put them. So, and this is why I always stress to all of you guys, like, to sign up for my email newsletter, because that's another thing. Like, if my email client, the marketing client I use goes away tomorrow, I still have all of your email addresses and I can reach out to you via another source, right? So tomorrow, Instagram could go away. We hear about TikTok possibly going away. YouTube could go away. Facebook could go away. All of those things can go away and we have absolutely no control over it. One of our crafters in the industry, she woke up one day and Instagram just took away her whole account and she doesn't feel like she violated anything. And they're like, well, too late. You're not getting it back. And she had to start all over again. So I do feel that, and this is coming from yes, I was a paper crafting manager, but when I worked my two big girl jobs, it was web design and social media. So I was lucky enough to learn a lot of things over the years through all of my training for those jobs. So yes, I would today, if I had never started a blog and I wanted to share more with card making, I would start a blog. So Brian just said Jen's blog has everything. One really cool thing about my blog, especially if you're a Lawn Fawn fan, but any brand that I design with, if you search the product name, you will see every project I've ever shared with that. So if you go to my website and search Happy Harvest, you will see every Happy Harvest card or every card or project I've shared with Happy Harvest on it. So, so it's just such a great resource. And I love Instagram and I love connecting with you in my Facebook group, but it's harder to share a lot of information on those avenues because of algorithms. You know, I'm just a little guy, and so you might not see my posts as much. And if you kind of engage a lot with me and then kind of take a break from engaging with me, you're not going to see my posts, but my blog will always, always be there. So, all right. And Beth, let me know if you have any other questions about that. Send me an email. You know, we can chat. I'm pretty sure you're coming in November to my art retreat. We can chat then. But yeah, I'm a big advocate for having control of your own content. Okay. So I saw, I don't know who said it. It might have been Tracy. I think she saw it said pink and teal. So I'm actually going to go with that, but I am going to do maybe like a little bit of a fall pink and teal. How about that? So I'm going to bring back my favorite pink combo from back in the day. Used to be, I don't know why that takes a minute to focus, but it used to be RV34 and RV32. And so we're bringing this combo back. If you guys look at this one doesn't even have a brush tip. That shows you how old school. I haven't used it in a while. But if you guys look at my Copic 101 blog post, which again is free, you don't have to pay to see all that information. I share with you guys my top 50 markers to start with, and I bet you'll find these are on there because they are just some of my favorite, but I haven't used them in a long time. I've been in my bright color era, I think, for a long time. I just love bright colors. They just make me happy. And bright colors minus red, right? Minus red. All right. So I'm just following that same way of coloring. I start with the dark, I blend with the light, and then the big trick is when you go to fill in with your light, you know, in your whatever's left white after you've blended, you just want to make sure you are only going one layer, because with alcohol-based markers, if you keep coloring, and I share this all the time, but if you keep coloring multiple layers, it's going to get darker and darker and darker. Even when that dries, it's going to be a lot darker than that first layer. And that's what's really cool about alcohol-based markers, is you really can build up your layer. But when we get over here onto our highlight, we want to make sure that those stay nice and light and bright, right? All right. Gosh, we gotta get a brush tip on this end. Look, I just went out of the lines. Typical me. I'll fix that. No worries. All right. So let me know in the chat, are you guys crafting today on World Cardmaking Day? Or are you just gonna like go around to all of the lives and soak up all of the information? Look, I forgot her straw down here. So we'll do this again. And the other thing I want to mention, I am going to share pictures of these cards, and I will make a blog post. But what I wanted to share is anytime I am coloring with my Copics, I share swatch lists of the colors that I use. Sometimes I put those on social media and sometimes I don't, but they always, always are on my website. So I'm purposely keeping the markers I'm using off to the side so I can create that swatch list after the live. And that way you guys can look at the swatch list and find similar colors in whatever coloring medium you want to use, right? All right, so now we're going to do a fall teal for Mr. Harvest. And that's throwing in this BG57, BG32, BG11. I love it. Robin's making Halloween cards. I have so many Halloween cards to share with you guys. Just ask Brienne. I started sharing yesterday, and pretty much I'm going to be sharing every day, maybe even multiple times a day leading up to Halloween, because remember, I was behind in blogging before Brienne was helping me. Ooh, I love it. Rachel's working on backgrounds from Tim's workshop last weekend. That's great. Ooh, the Lawn Fawn Winter release just showed up for Nora. I love that. Brenda says, question, when you are crafting alone, do you clean as you go or clean up at the end? And yes, I'm crafting, trying to get cracking on Christmas. So I will typically clean up after I'm done a project, because sometimes a supply I used early on a project, I'll need to use again on that project before it's complete. So after every project, I do a quick tidy. That does not mean it's like pristine in here. And I've learned that the only time it really gets pristine in here is when I'm teaching a virtual event. So I just did a very good clean getting ready for Crop and Create, which was an online event I was part of last weekend with Scrapbooking Cards Today. And then I always do a good clean before my Creative Journey Art Retreat, which is online in June. So I've learned that I just need this space, even though I'm not moving, I'm still just sitting in my seat. I still just need that space to be clean before I go live for lots and lots of people where I'm teaching. So that's kind of how I do things. I'm not a super neat freak, and I actually find I'm more creative if I have quite a few supplies surrounding me. But I do put everything away after a project is complete. So I'll put the inks away, the markers away, and what have you. And again, if I've missed any questions, let me know. Just ask it again. Oh, Terry, I am so excited. You got to take a class with Libby yesterday. So Libby is my trade show bestie. She lives in Georgia, and she's up here in Connecticut teaching at Papercraft Clubhouse this weekend, some Pink and Main classes. And man, it was real tempting to go down and see her. I really wanted to, but I knew I had a busy weekend, and it just wasn't happening. But I love my Miss Libby. All right. So you can see how these teals and pinks are a little less bright, a little bit more fall. I'm digging it. Uh-oh. I don't need readers yet for coloring. I mean, knock on wood, I don't need them yet, but I know that my time is probably coming. I use glasses for distance. I've many years. I don't know what to do on their patches, you guys. What colors they should be. Should I do a pink patch on him and teal on her? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I use glasses for distance. I think from many years of computer use, my eyes are not as good seeing detail in the distance. So I don't need them to drive, but I should wear them when it's night out or raining. I like to wear my glasses when we go to the movies or like a show. I have prescription sunglasses for at the beach. That's why I always have raccoon eyes, because I've always got my sunglasses on. Um, but yeah, I don't need them for coloring yet. I don't know. We'll see. We will see how long that's going to last. I am going to give them little rosy cheeks because I want to. I love it. So cute. Oh my gosh. So cute. And I'm wondering, I might just keep their shirts white. But by white, I mean, let's just give them a little bit of a shadow. Right? Just a little something, something. I'm going to look up in a second and see what you guys are telling me to do for their patches. Pink for him, teal for her. The inverse. Ooh, yellow patches. That would be cute, Tracy. So it is not my rest day today for Step Bet. Tomorrow is going to be my rest day because I am teaching all day. Oh, I don't know. Yellow would be cute, but I might just do inverse to keep our color marker limits down. Tracy says she's blind as a bat, far and near. Oh boy. All right, we're reversing the colors. Cute. So cute. All right, and then I think I'm going to keep her flower that I stamped white. And then I'll just give it an orange center. So we're good. We're good to die cut these out. I love being with you guys, but I'm always nervous to have my lives be too long. I don't want to like bore you or take up too much of your time. Plus, I'm hoping you guys will all come back for the 4 p.m. live because it's going to be a completely different look. Completely different look, which I'm very, very excited about. Okay, look how cute. I love it. So let's go ahead and die cut these guys out. So I'm going to grab the dies. Going to back up a little bit. So I typically cut my cardstock. I'll cut a bunch of it to be this size. I don't even know what size it is. 3 by 6-ish. Because this is the perfect size to fit into my mini die cut machine, which is awesome with Lawn Fawn specifically, because when I'm die cutting a lot of little things, which is our life with Lawn Fawn, right? It's just nice to use a mini die cut machine. It's a lot faster, it's more efficient. And so I will often use this size cardstock when I'm stamping and die cutting because it just makes life easier. Now I'm using some Spellbinders Best Ever Craft Tape, which comes in 3 different widths. And I carry all 3 in my online shop, and I share reasons to have all 3, but I use this size the most, the medium size. What I love about the Best Ever Craft Tape is I can use it over and 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 over again. Which is awesome. Like I don't need to, utilize new pieces of tape every single time or every couple times. I actually am reaching over because I have all of these pieces stuck to some bins that are organizing supplies on my desk right now for upcoming classes. And yeah, I'll pretty much use them until they've almost disintegrated. And I just love that you do. You get so much use out of them. And as much as I use it, a roll lasts me a really, really long time. Okay, let's see. Aw, thanks, Danielle. She says I could entertain her all day without getting bored. I love that. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in my cutting plates. I have several mini die cut machines, but I've been using my old Hero Arts one a lot lately. Just kind of does the trick. We're just going to crank this through. And so these magnet sheets are actually magnet boards, like boards, and these are from Lawn Fawn. So they come in this size, which fits in my stamp pocket perfectly. And then they also come 8.5 by 11 that I store my standalone dies on. In the binders, those rainbow binders behind me are all of my Lawn Fawn standalone binders, standalone dies in binders. Sorry. So make sure that you guys, have you all entered the giveaway over on my website? I hope you have. If you need to leave me for a second to go do it so you don't forget, you can. Just come back to me. I'm really excited to give away. And those giveaways are open worldwide. So most of them are gift cards. So it makes it really easy to have them open worldwide. I love the scarecrows too, Jackie. They literally, it's one of my most favorite sets. And for years now, Mr. Harvest is almost always in my fall class. And specifically when I was teaching in person. He always would show up because he coordinates with every fall set that comes out, because everything of Lawn Fawn coordinates. I love that about them. I love it. I love it. All right. What are you storing your sets in? So Nora, these are Avery L's stamp pockets, and I do carry these in my online shop. And I just cut 110-pound cardstock just to kind of be a nice heavyweight. And then, yeah, that's how I do it. And then they sit in the fridge bins, you know, the Jennifer Maguire style. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you guys, I'm going to zoom in. Although I am going to cover where I went out of the lines here with this cute little flower, what I would do if I wasn't is I use my Jelly Roll 08 pen. I touch it to the tip of my finger to get it going, and you can just color right over it. And nobody but you guys will know that I went out of the lines, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and give them some cheek freckles. We've got enough space that I'm going to do a little trio because that's cute. Right? And then I mentioned with the crow, one thing that I like to do, because you kind of lose the eyes a little bit, especially the one in the shadow, is I'll use my black glaze pen. Now, every time you open your black glaze pen, there's kind of like a film or a crust that goes on the tip of the pen. So I just roll that onto some cardstock to get it going. And then we'll go ahead and dot his eyes. Just want to be careful because it does flow out a lot faster and more than the white gel pen or the quickie glue pen. So just keep that in mind. I typically, you guys, use the same supplies over and over and over again. Once I love a supply, as long as it's available, I'm not switching up supplies. Not switching them up. Awesome. Yeah, they're so cute. So cute. All right, we're going to set these guys aside. I don't quite, we're going to obviously be glittering all of the things, but let's think about our background. And I have, again, like I said, I don't have a plan, but I did kind of brew up some ideas in my head. One idea I had was I wanted to use the Autumn Breezes stencil. This came out this year, but if you did Crop and Create last year, everybody got this stencil as an exclusive product. And it's actually one that Shari and I kind of came up with the idea. Like we were like, we want leaves like blowing in the sky. So we're going to use that. And then we also might use this fall leaves border die. I haven't used this yet. So I'm just getting them off the board that they're shipped to me with. So yeah, so I think we're going to do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bye, Jennifer. Thank you. I hope you can come back at 4. I think you'll really love what I'm making at 4. And Sterling and you could probably play along with what's in your stash. Yeah, I love this stencil. I'm trying to get this double-sided tape off. Let's see. It's not really wanting to come off. I trimmed all my nails down yesterday. That's okay. We're just going to leave it. It's fine. I'll get it off later. Okay. So I am going to start by ink blending, and anytime I'm ink blending, I am using Distress White Heavy Stock. It is my most favorite cardstock to use for ink blending. It's 130 pound. It's really, really thick. It's really nice and bright white, and it is nice and smooth. So I'm cutting this down to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And the first thing that we're going to do is just give some color on the background. And so for that, I think what I'm going to do, this is kind of my vision. I thought I would do a little bit of butter, which is a very, very light yellow, but then overlap the edges with a little bubble gum. And I'm just looking at my scarecrows to see if this is going to work, but we'll see. So of course, again, I'm using my ink stands to hold my ink pads in place. And when I'm ink blending a whole background, now there are a lot of tools out there, right? We've got lots of options for our tools. And I think different tools work for different things. So what I like to do when I'm ink blending a background is to use large blending brushes. So Honeybee Stamps has this 2-pack, and I do not use this one on the right when I'm trying to do a whole background. I like to use this one that's on the left. Now, butter is an ink that is super light in color, and I do not know what the last yellow I used on my blending brush. It could be Distress Mustard Seed. It could be number 2 pencil from Lawn Fawn. So this is another great use of your flour sackcloth. I just take my very loved flour sackcloth and I just really massage my blending brush. So I'm holding it really firmly behind the blending brush head, but I'm rubbing very, very hard on the bristles and massaging. And you can see all of that yellow ink that's coming off. I'm not getting any of the other inks. I never clean my flour sackcloths. Josie washes them once for you when they're brand new before she puts glitter all of the things, and that will make them nice and absorbent. And I really don't think you need to color or wash them after that. No worries, Jennifer. I'm glad you're here. So a lot of fun lives going on today. And then Brienne says, I hope the thing I requested is the 4 p.m. live because I'm not dressed for a riot today. Brienne requested one thing and she said she'd riot if I didn't create with it. So we'll have to see if Brienne's going to riot. Hi, Rick. Rick is coloring some design team projects. I love that. Who are you coloring for today? All right, but see, look at all of that yellow ink that just came out of this brush because this is so absorbent, even though it is so loved. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with butter ink. I always ink up my blending brush, but I always tap it off on my non-porous surface. My whole desktop is made of glass. If you don't have a glass tabletop, I highly recommend getting a glass mat. And then the other thing that I do is I actually blend my table. I like bristles down, I'm wiping my table, and I bring the ink into my cardstock, all right? And again, because this is such a light color, it's going to take a little bit to build up some, coverage, but that's what I wanted. That's the look. That's the look I'm going for because I'm planning on adding a stencil and I'm planning on adding some die cut leaves as well. So I wanted to start with subtle, although I feel like none of the cards I ever make are subtle. Some favorite crafters of mine make such dainty and light and clean and simple cards, and I'm just like, rawr. But we're going to add a good coverage of Lawn Fawn butter all over. I bet Beth is working maybe on some whimsy stamps, Beth, or some Pink and Main. So many fun companies out there. All right, so I feel like this is a good, nice base to get started. So because I'm going to switch colors, I'm going to go ahead and grab my isopropyl alcohol and spritz my table, and then I wipe it with the flour sackcloth. And because it's isopropyl alcohol, it's going to evaporate right away. So this is dry right away. There's no dampness left behind. Brienne says, I don't think I could do clean and simple if I tried. So what's funny is when I do clean and simple, like especially for a company, if I'm like submitting projects, I feel like I've been a slacker. I will be like, here. And it's like so clean and simple. I'm like, well, that was way too easy. I feel like I didn't work hard enough. But I love I love to look at clean and simple cards, but I'm not always the best at getting them to work. Now, I think because I colored her with these more gray RVs, I'm actually going to switch things up. I'm not going to use bubblegum like I grabbed. I'm going to use Wild Rose. So we'll still get a little pink in here, but I feel like it's a little bit more in the look of the coloring. And so I'm going to bring Wild Rose in on all 4 sides. And because Lawn Fawn inks are water-based dye inks, meaning they have a translucent property, they're going to overlap with the butter, and we're going to get like a really pretty, besides fingerprints, we're going to get a really pretty peachy orangey color, which is really fun. And I'm just going to kind of do like a little bit of a vignette. But you see, I always tap off the ink because I want it to be a nice soft dusting. And sometimes I'll like pick the ink up off of my table instead of going back into the ink pad. If you go from ink pad to paper, that's where you're going to get some really harsh looks sometimes. So I got some lovely fingerprints happening here. This is live crafting for you, how it is in Jen's world at least. We'll figure that out later. If they are showing up, we'll strategically cover them. We'll go ahead and cover this up. Will the second live also be lawn fawn? Should I answer that question? Or should I make you find out and come back? So Beth is working with Whimsy stamps today. Some super cute Christmas stuff that's coming up soon. I love that. Let's see. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, so now I'm going to set this aside for a minute because, again, I had some ideas brewing in my head with this fall leaves border. And now we're going to see if I can get it to come to fruition. So I'm going to start, I'm going to ink blend some, let me see, what am I going to do? Where did that border go? So I'm wondering if we're going to do a vertical card or a horizontal card. Kind of feel, I typically do vertical. I'm going to go with vertical. So this is some more Distress White Heavy Stock. I'm going to cut this. No specific width. I just want it to be wide enough for these fall leaves. So somewhat in thirds, but again, I did not measure it. I just want to make sure that I'll be able to cut the fall leaves from it. And so now what I'm envisioning is I wanted to kind of get a whole bunch of different colors on here so that when I cut the fall leaves, they're going to be all different colors. Now, if I were to cut this out of Distress watercolor cardstock and then use my Distress watercolor pencils, I could be, you know, very strategic with my coloring placement. But because I wanted to ink blend for this, I am not being as strategic. I hope Kathy Zielski isn't here anymore because I'm using my nails as tools and she's going to yell at me because she says jewels, not tools. But sometimes I just have to do it. Okay. You know I'll come back regardless. I'm going to keep it a surprise. 4 p.m. is a surprise. You can pop in real quick, see what I'm working on, and if it's not your jam, you could peace out. That's all good. Mary's working on some upcoming Simon Says stamp projects. I love that. That's awesome. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to start with number 2 pencil. And this time I am going to use my smaller ink blending brush because I'm going to try to kind of keep things in a smaller area. You'll see how my brain's working as I get going, I think. But we're going to kind of just do some patches. Now I'm starting with my lighter color first because I don't want it to I don't want to start with my darker colors because I'll lose spots for that lighter color. The darker colors will kind of overpower. But I basically am just trying to get some yellow in a few spots on these panels. Right? No rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of going for 3s-ish. And I say ish because I think on one of them I did more than 3. So hello, hello, hello. If you're just popping in, happy World Cardmaking Day. Yay! I should have had like cheering noise sound clips to play. I bet I have them actually. Maybe built into the software. All the noise I've been using has been stuff I've uploaded. Wait, what's this? A party noisemaker. That's about as... Oh, wait, here's applause. Okay, anyways, I digress. All right, so next I'm going to bring in some orange. So I'm going to bring in some carrot. So I'm going to get my smaller orange blending brush. This is very similar-ish, not really, but like it's a similar-ish color to that number 2 pencil. So I'm just kind of bringing some of it in. You can see I'm really just using the ink that's on the table, not really bringing in any more. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring in, I really want to bring in a little raspberry. It's a really dark color. I'm looking at my other inks from Lawn Fawn. You know what? I'm going to bring in guava instead. I'm getting nervous. I'll show you the raspberry on screen. But it's a real, I love it though. I've been using it a lot this fall, but I feel like it's a little too dark for our coloring, what we've done so far. All right, so this is guava. Okay, I'm gonna add in a little guava. Getting fall vibes going on here. Okay. And don't be afraid, you can go over some color you've already laid down because we're going light to dark. That's another good reason to do light to dark. And again, we're using translucent inks. So we're gonna get the overlap of the two colors, creating a new color, which is exciting, right? And then my last color I'm gonna add into here. Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess what my last color is going to be? Oh no, sorry for scaring your puppy with the cheers and the noisemaker. I'm sorry, you guys. I should have warned you better. Okay. So the next color I'm going to do is Merman. We're going to do a pop of teal. Because in my world, there are teal fall leaves out there. I'm still looking for them, but I know they exist. And this is also going to give us a little purple when we overlap. It's also going to give us a little brown when we overlap. Good job, Nora. She said merman. Tracy said teal. Gold stars for you guys. You know me so well. Teal, I mean, merman really is the best teal in all of the land for ink pad land. But see how when I overlap it here, we're getting like some green, some brown, some purple. And then when we die cut these leaves, we can't overthink it. The leaves are just going to do the magic. We couldn't choose where we were placing the colors per se. It's just going to work out. All right. How fun, right? Oh, sorry to all of the pets out there. The life of luxury that you're leading. I'm so sorry to have disrupted your nap. You can go to your regularly scheduled programming again. Oh, I want to be one of our pets when I come back in life, you guys, in my next life. Oh gosh, even Josie Zoo started barking. Man, oh man. You can tell my cats are not in my studio, nor do they, I mean, they're scaredy cats, but they don't really care, so I didn't think of that. Creative chick fail. Creative chick fail. I won't do that again. All right. So, I am going to start die cutting these leaves. And this this, my friends, is going to be very exciting, I think, because we don't know what they're going to look like. We do not know what they're going to look like. It's going to be magic. I love me some magic. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready for the magic? Can I make up for the noises? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Love it. It's exactly what my creative chick brain was envisioning. Look how fun. Oh my gosh. It's so simple, but yet so magical. Makes me so excited, you guys. Oh, I love them. I love them. I love them. This cutting plate that I'm working on is so loved that everything gets stuck to it. Oh my gosh, look at these. I love them so much. Now this die also comes with the individual leaf dies. Ooh, maybe I'll have to cut a couple of those. Okay, I'll do that on the next panel. So you can layer your leaves if you wanted, or you can use them as singles, right? Right? Yay! I'm glad you guys like it. It's always exciting, and sadly, I'm always just here by myself when things come out the way you're envisioning them to, right? It's always exciting. All right, maybe I should just go live forever and ever every time I'm making a project so we can all be excited together. I mean, then you're going to see all of the mistakes that are made too, which there's a lot. There's a lot. Beth is going to log this idea away. I love that. Love it. Right? All right, this last panel, I'm going to get some individual leaves because who knows? Who knows what I'm doing? We don't know. This was about as far as my creative brain got. This was it. This was it. Okay. All right. So remember, you guys, I know Brienne is being an amazing linking ninja in the chat, but especially those of you that are catching this on replay, I do have a link in the caption of the video with a visual supply list of what I'm using. So if you are Genabled, you can use my links, which I always appreciate. I always appreciate when you do use them. And also in the description is the link to my 20th anniversary blog celebration. So you guys have until October 6th, 2025 to enter those giveaways. It's very easy to enter the giveaways and over $800 in prizes. It is open worldwide. So don't forget. Don't forget. All right. And if you are crafting along with me, or even down the road, if any of this inspires you in your future crafting, definitely tag me in whatever you create because I love to see it. It makes my day. And then I also have a Facebook group, which is a really fun, chill, no stress Facebook group where you can also share your Gen inspired projects in there as well. So lots and lots of good stuff. All right, let's see. My chat is not moving. Oh my gosh, my chat is really not moving. I missed a lot of comments. I love it. Thanks, Tracy. She says I can message her anytime for excitement. She's here for it. I love it. Thank you very much. Yay. So Brienne's been linking stuff in the chat, and Josie's been awesome, and all the random things that I'm grabbing, she's been adding to the visual supply list. Man, I can't even tell you how excited I am to have this teamwork today. So excited. Oh yeah, guys, look at this. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, we've got to add a little bit of these leaves, the stencil. Now I'm wondering, do I do these colors? Or I was thinking a gentle brown, but man, I don't think I want to bring brown into this loveliness. Oh, man. Gotta think about this first, just a second. And I got to figure out what I'm doing about a sentiment too. Lots of decisions happening. Okay. Let's let me die cut a sentiment banner. So Lawn Fun has a lot of amazing sentiment banners. I keep all of mine together and they're on my desk at all times. I think I'm going to use a stitched sentiment banner. Kind of thinking it out as I'm going. And I think it'll be white. So we'll just die cut that as my brain is figuring out what we're going to do here. I'm thinking I am going to do the stencil the same colors that I did the die cuts. That's where I'm leaning. Very, very subtly, like barely inking them because I want it to be very subtle. Brienne has 3 sets of sentiment banners. I love it. Let's see. Right. All right. I sometimes even just sit and die cut a bunch of sentiment banners and I have them in a little dish in my drawer. The problem is I have not done that in a long time. So my most used sizes are lacking. They're not in the drawer right now. So I'm always having to cut them, but that does save time as well. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment. And I'm definitely going to use some Best Ever Craft tape to hold this in. Maybe between lives, I'll clean my grip mat. Probably not. So I did pull out Scripty Fall and the outline, and I was thinking of using that, but I feel like I don't have enough space with the 2 scarecrows and the beautiful leaves. So I think I'm going to use Henry's Build a Sentiment Fall. And I love these because these coordinate all together. All the different seasons will coordinate together. I feel like I should just say hello, happy harvest. I love this little y'all, but I would never say that. Let's see. Basically, I want to say happy harvest for the win because of the Mr. Harvest. Yeah, Teresa says, or no, Tiffany says, I love, maybe I'll clean. Probably not. That's me. Yeah, it's 100% me. Oh my gosh, Brienne, if you have, no, you keep your stitch sentiments that you've die cut. You're going to use them. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay. Make a decision, Jen. There's so many options. My brain is like, I'm going to do hello, happy harvest. I probably am supposed to have a comma in there, but happy harvest. Oh my gosh, so cute. Stuffed with turkey. All right, let's see. Hello, happy harvest. Where's my harvest word? And then we're going to put an exclamation point. I have a trick for when I add those. And then let's look at my stamp sets. Is there a cute little something we can add? I like sometimes when there's a little, oh yeah. Yeah, we can add this little heart. Okay, so what's cool about, oh, that was off camera. Sorry, I didn't do anything. I just threw my stamps down. What's cool about Lawn Fawn stamps, sentiment stamps, is they are cut in a rectangle. So it's very easy to just kind of touch them to each other, and they'll make a really nice long sentiment, and they're all evenly spaced. I'm kind of feeling like I need to do the smaller banner now that's not stitched. Oh wait, there's a small one down here. Got it. Pause, please. I'm gonna cut another sentiment banner. Oh no, Heather. I bet your shaker card looks awesome. I bet your shaker card looks great. Brienne, I cut them for your kidding, so they're kind of yours anyways. Well, you'll probably need them again for my kidding, Brienne, so you should probably keep them. Nora says, anyone else singing tag team back again every time Jen references her amazing dream team of Josie and Brienne? I love it. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing on this live because it's never pretty when I sing out loud. Just ask Josie. Yay! Brenda got 2 more holiday cards done. I love it. Get cracking on Christmas, guys. Get cracking on Christmas. All right, we're doing the smaller sentiment banner, which will be cute. It's not often I can fit what I want to say on the smaller sentiment banner. Whoa. Things are flying. Things are flying. All right, so let's try this again. I'm just going to move these guys aside. Get this banner out. Put the smaller one in. Okay. So as I was saying, Lawn Fawn sentiments butt up to each other very easily. I might not be able to fit my heart now, but that's okay. We'll probably do a sprinkle of stamped hearts. Okay. But if I want an exclamation point, I do not try to put it down now because it wibble wobbles everywhere and it's like you constantly fight with it. So I put my stamping platform window down, and now I'm going to add my exclamation point to the end of the sentiment. Just make sure you do it on the end. There's been videos where I've accidentally done it on the front or upside down. So just, actually, did I do it right? Yeah, just make sure you're doing it right. I typically will use VersaFine Onyx Black for all of my sentiments. I've honestly literally owned this exact ink pad for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years. I've never re-inked it. It stamps beautifully. You don't want to press too hard because you don't want to squish down the letters, right? But then we have this really cute, hello, happy harvest. I feel like I'm going to have to send this card to Shari. I don't think she's here, and it'd be a surprise, you guys. It would be a surprise. Just because she and I love him so much. So much love. Now that's the day there'll be a riot, is the day Happy Harvest retires. That's actually, I mean, I use him all the time because I love him so much. But I also use him all the time because I'm hoping to enable some of you to needing him. So if you purchase him and he's still selling, Lawn Fawn can't retire him. See my method to my madness here? It's happy harvest for life, guys. Happy harvest for life. We never, ever want him to go away. And Crow Girl, she's up there, you know, but he did live many years without a friend. So, oh, I'm putting stamp sets back in the wrong pockets. Let's see. Yes, she was on scrapbooking cards today earlier, and I missed it because I had to get pumpkins before I knew I'd be on my lives. Okay. We're just going for it, you guys. I'm overthinking it too much, so we're just going to go for it. Anytime I'm stenciling, I use my Make Art Station. It's just a thin magnetic board, and I love it. It's easy to store. I store it in the drawer right next to me with my stamping platform. And I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow removable adhesive. This is just going to hold my paper layer down. Okay. And I'm just going to try to figure out, I know I want 2 of these on here. Would this cover up too much? Ooh, not if I did 3. Ha ha ha. If we did like 3, it could even touch a little bit, I think. I actually don't mind that. So if we did 3 and then we put our banner here, I'm loving that. I'm just trying to figure out what height I'm going with my stencil is what I'm trying to do right now. And then we've got, you know, a little Mr. Harvest, a little Crow Girl, and then we've got a little stencil blowing in the wind here. So I'm feeling like if we start here, this is Gen Math, guys. This is about as precise as I get. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the stencil down, and the Make Art Station comes with really, really strong magnets. Janabler alert, if you don't own a Make Art Station yet and you buy one from my online store, thanks to Miss Brianne, she had made a comment because my Make Art Station back in the day, years ago, because I've been using these forever, was always sliding around on my table. And she's like, well, why don't you just put the rubber feet on the bottom of it that I put on my ink stands? And I'm like, you're brilliant. So now when you purchase the Make Art Station from me, I include these rubber feet for you guys because I love you, right? No additional cost. I just put them in there because I feel like everybody needs them. It'll make that tool work much better for you. Hi, Tess. Aw, thank you so much. Yay. Tess says, happy World Cardmaking Day and cheers to 20 years of amazing Janabling. And she's wearing her crafty gear today. You guys will have to let me know in the comments who else is wearing crafty gear. Tess has been taking classes with me in person and online for a long time. Not the whole 20 years, but quite a long time. All right, so now we are going to do that same process of ink blending. So let's see. I'm trying to remember. Did I think I used number 2 pencil, right, guys? Uh-oh, I don't remember. I didn't use butter. Butter was on the background. So we're going to do a little bit of number 2 pencil. And I'm going to go so gently because I don't want this background to overpower all of the other cuteness we have going on. And I'm going to treat it just like we did that strip of paper. So I'm going to add it in a couple sections, 3-ish. Okay. And then I think I use carrot. I should have paid attention in my brain more, the colors that I used. Brienne says the Bruins are playing in 2 minutes, so she's not wearing Shirk merch. All right. I guess I'll let it slide. Chris and I were actually watching fall baseball this year. It was the Yankees Red Sox, and the Red Sox lost. So I looked at Chris. I go, well, that's it. We're not watching fall baseball anymore. Spoiler alert, Chris is a Yankees fan. I am a Red Sox fan. So he looked at me, he goes, come on, this was fun. I go, yeah, it was fun when it was Red Sox Yankees. I don't care to see the Yankees play. So it was just kind of funny. All right, and then I think I did guava. Right, a little bit of guava. Ooh, this is getting a little dark. Getting a little heavy-handed, Jen. Roll it back. Roll it back. Okay, and then we're going to do that pop of merman, which might not be such a pop because we do have that butter and a wild rose in the background, but we're going to see. We're going to see. Yay, Heather has her crafty gear on. It's her favorite. Danielle's wearing shirk merch. Danielle just accidentally purchased the same shirt twice, so she like really loves it. And Rachel says it's a rare cool day in Florida, so she's got her Creative Journey hoodie on. I love it. We've got Coffee and Crafting long sleeve, Glitter All of the Things sweatshirt, and the Sorry Can't Crafting bye t-shirt underneath. I love it. Double dipping Mindy. Oh my gosh, lots of you guys are. I love this. Oh, well, if you post a World Cardmaking Day selfie, I love to see people wearing their shirk merch. Make sure you tag me. Literally makes my day, you guys. I have so much fun packing up. I love packing up all orders from my website, but the shirk merch ones are the most fun because it's like, ooh, she got this. Ooh, they got that. Like, it's just fun for me. All right, we're doing a little pop of merman. Right? Just a little bit. Okay, we're going to take this off. We've got to glitter all the things and assemble. Quick, quick. So I can let you guys go before you hopefully will join me at 4. Hopefully. Okay. Ready for the reveal. Ooh, yeah. Love it. Love it. I'll clean that later. Let me just clean my table off so I don't get this ink anywhere. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to die cut this with my outside in stitched rectangle. It's the largest one in the set. I literally don't put it away. It's always in a bin. So I am going to do this off to the side in my big die cut machine. I have the Spellbinders Platinum 6. I do not have a die cut machine camera like Miss Kathy Zielski, but I'm just over here die cutting my background, which also makes me realize I'm wondering if I'm going to need to die cut my leaf borders. I don't think so. I think I can just trim them and they're going to look good. I feel like I'm going to have to die cut them, you guys. So what I'm going to do is just take 3 of these, right? And we're just going to put this over it. Let me do this on my platform. Yay, Melissa just glittered all of the things on her mice. I love that. Kat says her new shirk merch just came yesterday. That's exciting. All right, so I am actually going to lay these down with some Best Ever Craft tape. This is very precise for me. This is not the normal. But because I'm live and I don't want to have to figure out how to fix a mistake live, I'm being more precise. But I'm just basically trying to line these up somewhat, but I'm using the Best Ever Craft tape so they don't move. And then we're going to put our die over it because I want the stitching on the edges of these sleeves is basically what I'm getting at. And then I'm going to put some more tape to hold the die in place. See all this use of my loved Best Ever Craft tape? Okay. And now we're just going to put this plate over it and we're going to crank it through and hope for the best, you guys. Otherwise, we're just going to have one layer of leaves because I still got one that I'm not doing this to. Okay, everybody cross their fingers. It's a whole lot of stitching going on. We've got stitched leaves, stitched edging. You know you're in lawn fawn land when we've got all the stitchings. All right. So, I'm just taking this tape off and then we're going to assemble and glitter. Okay. All right. My smudges are still there, but I think they're going to get covered up. Thank you so much, you guys. I love the long sleeve. It's just the right temperature right now for my long sleeves. I was actually really excited to put it on today. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding some Lawn Fawn glue tube to the backs of these leaves and get these down flat because I think I'm going, oh, well, 1 minute. Yeah, I am going to go flat, but I think I'm going to pop up the sentiment banner. I'm glad I took the time to do the stitching, you guys. It looks good when it all lines up. It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. Okay. Now, before I put my third row of leaves on, though, I do have to hide my scarecrow posts. So, and I do want to overlap these slightly because I think it looks cute. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now, before I continue, we're going to glitter all of the things on our scarecrows. Okay. I'm going to add the little flower on her hat. So we'll be able to just glitter things all together. Right. And then we're going to give a little crow to Mr. Harvest. This was his best friend until Mrs. Crow, or not, they're not married. I didn't mean to say Mrs. Until Crow Girl came along. This was his only friend. Now he has a new friend. It's like a great, great thing. Okay. So to glitter all of the things, I am using my Sakura Quickie glue pen. It is the best glue pen in all of the land. And I'm using my glitter storage container. Hello, Melissa. You can come for 4 p.m. too. We'll be doing more fun. My glitter storage container. This is Lawn Fawn Prisma Glitter. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and add Quickie glue pen wherever I want things glittered. I love that I can add nice little detail. And then I'm just going to dip in. Ooh. And then there's a lot of static cling. I'm going to tap with my pen. Tapping a hard surface to a hard surface, it drops away all of that static cling. And then I'm also not touching it with my hand, where you also might get some glitter on your skin. And once you've got glitter on your skin, you guys, it's not going to go away for a while. So I love glitter, but I also don't want it with me forever. So there we go, right? Little sparkle, sparkle. And we know that it dries right away, which is awesome. That's the great thing about the Quickie glue pen is you don't need to wait for things to dry because I am impatient. Okay. And we've learned glitter in moderation. So I say glitter all of the things, but it doesn't really mean that I'm glittering everything on my card. I like to pick and choose because then that little bit of sparkle will really, really stand out. We're going to add one more layer of sparkle on something in a minute, but let me get these guys on here. So what I'm going to do is, because the leaves are flat, but I want to pop up my scarecrows. I'm gonna leave no foam squares on their posts, but what I'm gonna do is put foam squares mainly towards the top of them, and that way it's gonna look like they're kind of leaning out towards us. They're like, hi, I want to be your friend. And the bottoms will be flat towards the card. Okay, and I haven't even really decided where these guys are going to go, but we're going to just wing it. This is how I do things. So I'm going to put a little glue tube at the bottom of her skirt and on her post. And we are going to go ahead. This is our third row of leaves. Oh, we'll go like this. Okay. And so, oh, that one was not die cut. I was like, why is that one so long? We're going to do our third row of leaves. And I think, yeah, we'll go like this. But what I'm going to do is tuck her post underneath a leaf. And then stick her down. So she's like coming at you, but she is flat at the bottom. Okay. Hello, hello. I know this has been a long live, you guys. It's hard. I want to show you all the things, but we will try to not have it be as long at 4 p.m. Okay, we're going to try. I'll try to have more of a plan. Hopefully everybody's doing okay out there. And then we're going to do the same thing with Mr. Harvest, but I kind of want him to be a little bit higher. So what we can do is go like this. Yeah. Okay, it's a little bit taller, we'll pretend. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put glue tube on these leaves. I was supposed to go out for my walk in between these lives and get my steps in, you guys. So we got things to do, just like I'm sure all of you guys do. Oh my gosh, I think my most favorite part of this card is these leaves, you guys. They make me so happy. All right, stitch sentiment banners. I like to kind of just take my foam strips and take 3 of them, and they lay right down. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've used my scissors this whole live. How is it card making day without using scissors? And then this is gonna look so cute. I'm even going to put this on a card base in honor of Josie being here with me today. Okay. Oh my gosh. Now, what I'm wondering, yeah, I think I'm going to have a couple blustery leaves. Just a couple. 1, 2, and 3 we're going to do. And we'll do those with foam squares. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. It takes a long time to make a card. We all know this, huh? But it's fun. The process is fun. Like buying the stuff is fun. Organizing the stuff is fun. Creating with the stuff is fun. Sending cards to friends and family is fun. There's so much fun involved with our hobby. We are so lucky to have it. It really is. Crafting really is my therapy. For sure. All right. So now I think I am going to just put this on a white card base. So we have that white border so that it kind of coordinates with the sentiment banner and it coordinates with the white edging on our scarecrows. But I have one more little thing I want to do. Let me grab my bone folder. Yay, Tiffany has the scarecrows in her cart. She's going to make sure they're not retired. Thank you, Tiffany, for taking one for the team. By the way, they are not on the verge of being retired. I do not want to start rumors. I'm just saying that if something doesn't sell for a company, they're not going to keep it around. So that's why, you know, if you guys just want to start gifting the set to your friends, do whatever needs to be done. Let's see. Cindy says, what colors of ink would you recommend to get for a beginner lawn fawn person? Cindy, I would definitely for sure make sure you own the Lawn Fawn Jet Black. That's what I stamped all my images with to color and to watercolor. But I would get bubblegum, sunflower, and merman. Because that way, with those three colors overlapping, you're going to get all your rainbow colors. Okay? Now, if you want to throw in a full rainbow, I would get carrot for your orange. I would get freshly cut grass for your green. If you want a real blue besides just merman, I would say fish tank, but Lawn Fawn has the best navy and deep sea. And if you love red, lobster is the best red, especially for the holidays. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, one more little step, you guys. You might already know what I want to do. I gotta add just a little rock candy to these leaves. I just gotta do it. All right, so I'm using Distress Collage Medium when I add Distress Rock Candy Clear. This is the rock candy that's been out forever. This does have a little bit more weight to it, so your your Sakura Quickie Glue Pen is not going to work to hold it on. It's too chunky, all right? And I'm going to add just a little bit of rock candy on the edge of some of these leaves. Okay. Even down here, we'll just kind of touch it here and there. And this, you won't be able to see the magic of this until it dries. So I will show this at 4 p.m. And I, of course, like I mentioned, I will be taking photos of my projects today and doing a blog post. A blog post, because 20 years of blogging, I'm not going to stop now. So there will be photos of my projects as well. But this really, you're not going to be that excited about this until you see that it's dry. Because that's, again, when that magic's going to happen. But you can see I'm very, very generous with how much Distress Collage Medium I put on. And then I'm going to go ahead and be very generous with my glitter application. This is where I do use a spoon because it's a bit of a chunkier glitter. But I love my glitter storage container because it's big enough that none of this glitter is going anywhere. I'm able to work right over it. The size of my card fits right in it, and I'm not having any spillage. I don't like to funnel my glitter. I don't like to switch it from, tool to tool. It all stays contained in my glitter storage container. So look at this, you guys. I love it so much. And I absolutely love that you guys are here with me to create this. There is a little bit of static cling that you're seeing hit on the light. Once this is dry, I'm going to take my dry paintbrush and just kind of wipe all that away. But I don't want to do it now while my glue is wet because it's going to swipe the glue. Do I have any classes on your site using Happy Harvest? Yes, we have 2. And they are both East Coast Fawny classes. So we have one called Happy Harvest and one called Harvest Friends. So 2 different classes are using these stamp sets. And remember, if you don't have all the exact supplies that we use in class, we want you to substitute. It's just giving you that stepping off point where you don't have to think. You don't have to decide how to color them or what colors to use. You can even mimic the layouts. They're just really, really helpful for that. All right. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I know there's a lot of fun things going on for World Cardmaking Day, and I'm so appreciative for you guys being here live And if you are checking out the replay, thank you so much. Remember, I have over $800 in giveaways over on my website celebrating 20 years of blogging. So make sure you guys head on over there and enter the giveaways. And then I will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So it's 2:19 right now. I'll be back. And hopefully I will make all of Brianne's dreams come true. Thank you guys so much again. Have a fabulous day and happy World Card Making Day. Bye, you guys.